What's good, everybody? Welcome to Whole Views. My name is Corey, and today we're going to be talking about what does it take to make movies great again. So when we talk about movies in this particular video, we're not talking about movies in general. We're talking about the theatrical experience. So I was scrolling on Twitter and I ran across this tweet from a guy named Daniel Kunta. His tweet hit very, very hard to me because it explained everything in the most simplistic terms possible, and I could not have agreed more. So all this video is me going through agreeing with his points and expanding upon them based on my personal experience as a movie watcher over the course of a lifetime. Again, these are only my thoughts, opinions, and experiences, but I welcome you to share any of your thoughts about his points or my points in the comment section, and let's get to it. His first point is make movies matter. 90-day theatrical window. That's huge. That's very important, and it's something that really doesn't happen anymore. When the spring months rolled around, I knew that I really wanted to have at least 3 films that I saw in the theaters. The first one would have been Captain America 4 with Anthony Mackie. I had a chance to go see that one. The next one was Mickey 17. And then the next one would have been Sinners. Now, there's a lot of other movies that I'm interested in and I do want to see, hopefully theatrically. But those were the 3 that I really were anticipating a theatrical experience based on the genres, it's science fiction, and it's inside my wheelhouse. But with Mickey 17 in particular, it's going to be the one that I referred to quite a lot because it didn't do a lot of good box office numbers, as well as it was one that I wanted to see but didn't get a chance to see for many of these reasons. First one being, when I looked into it, I noticed that Mickey 17 had a streaming date of 3 weeks after the initial release. That makes no sense. And to me, it was a big deal to know, hey, I can shuffle my schedule and I can get my little funds together and clear my schedule to make sure I can see this, or I can just put it on the back burner and wait 3-4 weeks until it's out on streaming. So that's a huge deal for a person such as myself, as well as I'm so plugged into the movie news and the movie talk discussions. When they put out a streaming window for something so early, I instantly think they must not believe that it's going to make the money that they plan for it to make. And so that also discouraged me. Without reading any reviews or anything, it's like, it don't seem like y'all believe in this thing if y'all setting a streaming date so soon. So I agree very strongly with his first point. 90-day theatrical release. Hold it. Don't give it to streaming so fast. Number 2, cut ticket prices. No tickets over $12. That would be great, but I know that's relatively unrealistic with the inflation economy that we've been dealing with over the course of the last 3 to 4 years. I'll say this. There was a time when you had theaters that had $5 Tuesdays or $5 Mondays, and I was a person who would frequent those if I had time in my schedule. I would go check out something after the weekend opening, and I would watch it on a Monday or a Tuesday because I could watch it for $5. That is the way to get people back in theaters. Charge them for the confections, make your money as a theater that way, and lower your ticket prices so you can get butts in seats. If I was to go see Mickey 17 at the only 2 or 3 available theaters in my area, I'm looking to pay $13 to $15 in the daytime. If I go to a night showing and I take my wife, that $13 to $15 now turns into $25 to $30 for a movie that I know I would probably enjoy because it's in my wheelhouse, but it's a gamble on if my wife would even enjoy that or not. Why would I risk spending nearly $30 at a time like this to go see a movie that she may or may not like? Like, nah. If it was cheaper, then yes, we can gamble on an evening. But at those prices, we're not spending that money on something we don't know for certain we will both love. And his third point is also another strong one. Make more movies. Give people more options every weekend. Now, that doesn't seem like a huge deal because if you look at what's coming out straight to streaming, if you look at what's coming out in theaters, you do feel like you have a lot of options. But for a person who is more of a specific genre type fan, like I like the superhero stuff, I like the horror stuff, I like things that are sci-fi, fantasy, action-based, we really only get the first half of the year in the summertime. But when you get to the fall, you start to see a lot more dramas. You start to see a lot more Oscar bait films. And it's just like you get to the end and it kind of dries up a little bit. I would imagine you would want to keep all the big blockbusters and sprinkle them throughout the year. They are not or should not be reserved for late spring and early summer, like they've been doing over the course of the last, I would say, 5 to 6 years. Put those blockbusters anywhere and let them come out where there's less competition. Move off of dates and give this movie a month, and then put your movie out in a different month, just to kind of sprinkle out your theater going experiences. Because when you have situations like Barbenheimer, when you had the Barbie movie and Oppenheimer, it doesn't always work out to the favor of both films. Sometimes you have people who do the either or, they don't do both, and that's a real thing. So sprinkle out the blockbusters, sprinkle out the genre stuff. Don't put all the horrors in October or in the fall. Like, no, sprinkle it out throughout the year, and I think that you would have a much better selection when it comes to what you want to watch this weekend, if you are appealing to theater goers. Those are my thoughts. I'm sure that people have many more thoughts about how you can improve movies in the movie going experience in the comment section. So I invite you to drop a comment there. I'll go back and forth with you, because that's what I like to do in my comment section, and we can talk about it, because I think those first 2 points are very strong. Third one also valid. It's easy to make movie theaters relevant experiences again, but you have to make changes to the way you're doing things. You can't put things out on streaming immediately, and you can't be charging $15, $16 for a movie that is in 3D and expect people to come out in droves. With the economy being what it is and the state of America being what it is, us being a huge portion of a lot of these films' box offices, you can't expect us to spend here when you're dealing with a lot of other stuff that we deal with in our country. So those are just my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And that's all we got for this one, y'all. Enjoy yourself, guard your heart, and go watch something good.